Should genders be separated at school? Nope. No. No. Don't think so. No. No! Whenever I get worked up about something that's to do with my old school, I always say this to my friends. I just want to become famous so that I can get invited to be the guest speaker at presentations evening at school and I can say everything that I didn't like about them. But you know me, I'm more confident in front of a camera than I am in person. I'm sure everyone watching has had a moment in an argument where you think about something clever that you could have said after the argument. Oh, I should have called her. So I'm putting my annoyances about school in general into this video. Gender and sex separation. This probably won't bother most people, but for me the separation made me extremely uncomfortable. PE, physical education, was my least favourite subject at school. But Ross, that's because you don't know how to kick a ball. Actually, it's because one of the teachers was a No, it's because every week I was forced to play football or rugby with a group of boys who genuinely thought they were going to become professional athletes and would cry in the changing room if their team lost. In the words of Latrice Royale, good God girl, get a grip. All the time it'll be boys are doing this, girls are doing this, except when it's a sport where you can't really hurt yourself or when there's less physical contact. I could be drawing conclusions, but the reason for the separation in my mind is probably so people don't get hurt. I have two problems with this. Number one, boys can hurt boys, girls can hurt girls. I've got a friend who remembers a larger girl tackling her in rugby and she sent her flying, and my friend's like me, a twig. That would have injured her as much as a boy would have done. So no, the different sexes aren't safer if they're kept separate in PE. Number two, equality. Where is it? This point annoys me because when I was at school, this group was set up to promote female empowerment and equality and like the message that women are just as good as men, but let's keep them separate when they play football, just so they don't get hurt and because the boys might touch them in different places. No, that's not how equality works. So my solution to this isn't just to have one big group of girls and boys playing together, it's to let kids choose what they're comfortable doing. Like I said in my coming out video, as I got older, I just went against the separation and said no, I don't want to play with the boys, I'm going to play with the girls. So let the kids choose who they want to be with, it's not as black and white as boys and girls. I need to get this point in the video because it angers me the most. Why when Sports Day came around, were people forced to take part? But when we put on a school musical, no one's forced to take part. Explain that to me, school. Let's do some simple maths. Me plus Sports Day equals doing something in front of people that I'm not comfortable with. Someone that doesn't like theatre plus being in a musical equals doing something in front of people that they're not comfortable with. Spot the difference. There isn't one. So why was it acceptable for my teacher to say, right, I need someone to run the 400 metres for Sports Day. Ross, you can do it. But I don't want to. I've already written your name down. But never would this happen. Right, I need someone to play Shrek in Shrek the Musical. Jamie, you can do it. But I can't sing. I've already written your name down. Moving on from sport now, I was recently on the radio.
Hopefully in the future it can get somewhat easier.
John Prospect, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
So the man interviewing me had been in contact with my old school to get an idea of what they do for LGBT people, like what they teach about it. I'll give you a clue. In my experience, nothing. So someone who works at the school had said, well, we do have some kids discussing trans issues at the moment. Again, I don't know what the situation is, but what are the chances that trans issues are actually on the curriculum? What are the chances that the teacher brought that up for kids to talk about? The chances are slim. Like I said in that interview, my school had a class called Personal Development. Here's the definition of personal development.
Personal development covers activities that improve awareness and identity, develop talents and potential, build human capital, and facilitate employability, enhance the quality of life, and contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations.
Every year in class I heard, I want you to make a fact file about the different types of drugs. I'm a heavy drug user, I know the difference between heroin and LSD. That was a joke. Seriously though, every year we had to learn about sex and drugs. We discussed LGBT issues once. Well, I say discussed, we more like watched a short film, and this meme happened to me. Changing rooms. I do understand that you can't have boys and girls getting changed together, but here's a solution. Individual cubicles. Like I've mentioned, I was friends with girls, so I didn't really like that they all went off to get changed, and I was left by myself to go with the boys. Now I'm not saying I didn't want to go and get changed with them, but it would have been nice to just sort of be by myself. So that's why I think individual cubicles would have been a good thing, and if you agree, like the video. Toilets. Not even joking, I must have gone to the toilet about 6 times in the 7 years that I was at secondary school. People always assumed I was gay, but I was never bullied for it or picked on, but the thought of going to the toilet and there being a group of boys in there still scared me. So imagine what it's like for someone who is bullied at school, like how much more comfortable would they feel if they could go to the toilet and, similar to changing rooms, they could go in an individual place rather than communal toilets. Yes, I talked about my old school in this video, but it's more just an open message to all schools. Just because someone's a boy doesn't mean that they should be forced to play football and rugby and taken away from their friends. Just because someone's a girl doesn't mean that she can't match up to boys in PE and be able to go and play football with them. Stop making assumptions about people and what they're comfortable with based on the outward gender. Ironically, schools need educating. Thank you for watching that video. If it made you laugh or smile at any point throughout, then give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And if you haven't seen me before but you like what you saw, then click subscribe and come back next week for more.